Hello there, welcome back to my channel, Jewella. So before I go into this video, apologies for the close-up. There's a reason for that. There's a very good reason for it. It's not so you can see my ugly face to scare you. It is purely for the purpose of this video. So in this video, basically I'm going to be showing you how I do my eyebrows. This is something that has been requested by several subscribers of mine and also a couple of friends of mine who for a long time now have often said, Julie, how do you get your eyebrows looking quite neat? Now by all means my eyebrows do not look perfect and I wouldn't want them to look perfect. That kind of symmetrical, like absolute airbrushed perfect, my eyebrows will never ever be. I do tend to favour the more natural look with eyebrows, and yeah, there's just a few little bits and bobs that I would like to kind of chat about while I do my eyebrows. So, like I say, there's a reason for this camera being quite zoomed in. So the first thing you're going to need, ladies, is a decent mirror. Now I use one that's quite magnified. Don't know if you can see there, but I use one that's quite magnified and it's actually a little bit dusty, so I really need to clean it. But anyway, you'll need yourself a decent little mirror or a good compact mirror. You'll also need yourself an eyebrow spoolie brush. Now this was just one out of a really cheap set. Literally this would have ended up costing about 40 pence for this one little thing. So yeah, it does the job, but it's an essential part of eyebrow care. So even if you're not going to do much with your eyebrows, at least give them a little bit of a brush with a decent little spoolie. The next thing you're going to need, and this is basically something that I don't do very often, but I'm going to do today, just for the purpose of this video, is a pair of tweezers. Now, I've been using these ones since I was in my 20s. I've got several pairs of tweezers, but these ones I always go back to. I just think that I get good control over them. I like the size of them, and I like the way that they work, and it's a canny little tool. So these are just by Bourjois. Is that how you pronounce it? Bourjois or Bourgeois? Anyway, yeah, I've had them for years and I just tend to always use them. Something else I use is just a plain dark brown eyebrow pencil. Now this is one that I got off eBay and I've been using them since I was in my late teens, this exact same brand. I don't know if it's cruelty free, it might not be, being as it costs like £1.79. I really don't know if it's cruelty free. Anyway, it's by a brand called Laval. And I used to get it from my local market stall when I was a lot younger, and then obviously I didn't get out and about for the last few years, so I don't know where you get them now, but I get mine from eBay. So yeah, it's just like a plain brown, like a dark kind of mid-brown pencil, which is good. But my favourite one is actually the Winky Lux one, and this is the Unibrow, and it's the Universal Brow Pencil. You get a spoolie on one end, which is super handy, and then you get the pencil on the other, but it's at the very end. I literally couldn't turn any more out of it. Don't know if you can hear it clicking. It won't go up anymore. I'm at the very end of it and I've been looking everywhere to buy a new one. Can I find one? Can I hell? Anyway, if anybody's got one that they don't want, I can give it a really good home. So yeah, this is the Winky Lux one. I really enjoyed using it and it gives a really nice natural look. So yeah, ideally I would like to use that, but I've only got a tiny bit left, so I probably won't be using that one today. I'll probably just use my little cheap trusty eBay pencil. And also a brow gel. Any brow gel does. In the past I used to use an old mascara wand that was basically dried up and then just kind of brush my eyebrows with it. And the tiny little bits of residue of old manky mascara would set my eyebrows. That's what I used to do years and years ago. But since then obviously I've used a brow gel. But anyway, sorry if I keep licking my lips. I'm so paranoid that I've got red lipstick on my teeth. Anyway, I'm just going to take a slurp of my tea, because I made a cup of tea not long ago and it's gone cold. Anyway, so I'm just going to give my eyebrows a little pluck. The first thing you're going to need is like a micellar water or a cleansing milk and a cotton pad. Now this is just a reusable cotton pad, but not a reusable one, sorry. This is a disposable cotton pad, but I do have reusable as well. So basically I'm just going to dab underneath my eyebrows with the cleanser. This is just to kind of make it nice and soft under that area and cool. It's like a nice cooling effect. And what I'll do is I'll keep going back to that and adding a little bit more if I need to. So the first thing I'm going to do is brush my eyebrows. Always brush your eyebrows in an upward motion, okay? Never brush your eyebrows down over, unless it's just on the edges to kind of get a nice edge. But always brush them up. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Just realised you couldn't see what I was doing for the way I was holding the spoolie. But yeah, just give them a good brush. Now, nobody's eyebrows are particularly perfect, and do you want them to look perfect? No, you want them to just look decent, to look good. At the end of the day, the eyebrows frame the face, so they are a really important part of doing your makeup. Even if you don't wear a lot of makeup, I think it's nice to still make sure you make a fuss of your eyebrows, because like I say, they do frame the face and they can make or break a makeup look ultimately. So, good little pair of tweezers here. I'm just going to pluck a couple of the little strays from underneath. I never pluck anything from the middle because I purely don't need to. And one place you should never pluck your eyebrows is the upper eyebrow area, unless you've got really large, unruly garden slug style eyebrows, and I would understand it. But try to just go underneath. Always try to make it just underneath the eyebrow. Now, I am quite lucky and fortunate that I don't have really mega unruly eyebrows, but my mum has actually got virtually non-existent eyebrows. Her eyebrows are very fine and very fair because she was blonde as a child, but I've always been quite dark-haired, and I think my eyebrows were a little bit more like my dad's, but with a little hint of my mum's, because they're not really that bushy. So they're not totally like a man's eyebrow. Anyway, so I'm just going to pluck a couple of the strays from underneath. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be symmetrical, just do what you think. So literally just having a little go, plucking a couple of strays. Now, I know a lot of people these days get their eyebrows threaded or waxed, but me personally, good old pair of tweezers does me. Honestly, I don't need anything more than that. Sometimes when you go to pluck them, sometimes it's a little bit painful, but I don't mind. I can cope with this pain. I cope with a lot more in life, so I can cope with a little bit of eyebrow pain. So yeah, just plucking a couple of the strays from underneath. And there isn't many, guys. That's literally it. There was like 6 little stray hairs. I'm just going to pat it with this cleanser now. It can also stop it going too red, although it might go a little bit red underneath. Now, I don't know if you're going to see what I've managed to pluck there, but I've definitely got enough out. There was just literally a couple of stray unruly ones, and I'm happy with what's left. So I'm just going to come into the camera a bit more, but it's very light, so you might not see it. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I'm happy with it. So now for the other eyebrow. Now, you mightn't see this one as well, because obviously it's the left side of my face, and I struggle a little bit with the tweezers on this side. But I'll still manage. I will still manage. So yeah, let me know your eyebrow sort of techniques of what you do with your eyebrows. I think it's always quite interesting, isn't it? It's like I say, it's like having a spy hole in someone's house, seeing what they do when it comes to putting their makeup on and their skincare. Whereas I'm just putting it out there exactly what I do. It's nothing spectacular though, guys. It's nothing amazing. It's literally just, you know, trying my best to do what I can. And that's it for that eyebrow. You've seen how long it takes me to pluck my eyebrows. Literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And if I wasn't talking away on the camera, I could obviously get this done a lot quicker. So, that's my eyebrows plucked. I'm just going to finish off with giving it a little dab underneath. Because sometimes when you first pluck your eyebrows, it might feel a little bit sore underneath your eyes. So the best thing you can do is just pop a little bit of a nice milky cleanser on there. So yeah, that is that. Done. Part 1 done. Now, for how often you need to pluck your eyebrows or take a few strays out is your own judgment entirely. I only tend to do mine, truthfully, about 4 or 5 times a year, if that. So not often at all. I'm just going to take another slurp of my tea before I lose my voice. Now, this video might be quite a long one, but that's just because I don't edit them. Anyway, so the next thing that I do is make sure I've groomed my eyebrows into place. I haven't got a lot of makeup on today. I've literally just got a small amount of makeup on. I've got a little bit of foundation on, a little bit of bronzer and blusher, a little bit of red lipstick, which looks like I've got a lot on. I'm so paranoid I've got it on my teeth. and a little bit of mascara. That's literally it, just for the purpose of this video, so I didn't look terrible. Because I would hate to come on camera with no makeup again, because yeah, I think I look dreadful without makeup. Anyway, so the cheap and trusty eBay eyebrow pencil. Always try to go with a shade that's quite close to your hair colour. So for me, I do have quite dark hair, as you can see. You don't want to make your eyebrows look like completely different. But also shape wise for your eyebrows, try and stick to the natural shape of your brow. So if you've got eyebrows that are quite straight, like a line that goes straight across, don't go for a McDonald's arch, because when I say McDonald's, obviously the M shape for McDonald's, the burgers. Don't go for a big kind of like hoopy kind of rainbow arch, because that's just not going to look right, guys. It won't make your eye area look right underneath either. So just go with what is natural to your natural shaped brow, however big or however sparse or however small or whatever density wise, thickness wise, size wise your eye shape is for your eyebrow. Just go with what is quite natural, or that's something that you can make look quite natural. So here goes. I've never done this on camera before, so it's actually a little bit daunting, and I've got a little bit of fluff on my eyelash. So anyway, all I do is go with the natural shape, and I literally just fill in a few sort of sparse areas. So I go with the top of the eyebrow first, and I wouldn't say that I draw my eyebrows on, because I don't. I'm just kind of filling in any sparse little gaps and accentuating any arch areas. Now at the top I do have quite a prominent arch that kind of goes a little bit like an upside down V. So because I've got that prominent arch there, when I brush my brows, I do tend to fill it in that way as well. Now I could soften it and round it off if I wanted, but I tend to keep that quite prominent, to be fair. I don't like my eyebrows to look too fake. Some days when I do my eyebrows, I must admit, they go entirely wrong, and I just leave them and I think, it doesn't matter. Other days you'll see some of my videos, my eyebrows look a little bit more pale and not quite as drawn in. Other days they'll look quite full. It's just different every time. I can never get it the same every time. So today I'm aiming for fairly natural. And then I just go downwards in a downward stroke with the pencil. You can do them as sparse, as thick or as thin as you like. Just whatever you think looks right for you. And for me, I think that's about right. So that's literally an eyebrow pretty much done. Obviously you can fill this bit in as much as you want, but I don't like to make that look too thick. I just tend to go over a little wee bit. Sometimes I make my eyebrows look more and sometimes I make them look less. But you can see one eyebrow done to the other one that's not done right now. So you can see the difference that by just taking a little bit of care to your eyebrow can make to the overall finished look of your face sometimes. Some people might think that that one looks better, but if it looks a bit red underneath, it's just because I've just plucked them. Anyway, we're going to go in with the other eyebrow now. And I'm just going to do exactly the same along the top there. Just filling in the sparse areas and just going with the natural outline of the actual brow that's already there. Now I know some people who don't really have much eyebrows, so they just kind of rely 100% on just drawing something on, and I completely understand that. I understand, and that's what's right for them. My mum doesn't even bother with her eyebrows, but they're hidden by like a long fringe anyway, so you can't really see my mum's eyebrows. But I don't have a fringe. I've got a big slappy forehead, so you can see my eyebrows. So yeah, I'm just filling in this eyebrow the same as I did the last one. And you know what? Eyebrows are never going to look symmetrical. And if you can get your eyebrows to look symmetrical, then good on you. But it's not important that they look symmetrical. To me, it's just important that eyebrows look neat and that they look tidy. So you might do one, do another, and then have to go back to the other eyebrow. Just because you might think, oh, that looks a little bit darker than the other one, and you might feel you've got to fill in a little bit more. Ultimately though, I think I'm fairly happy with that. I don't want to faff about too much more with them, because I think that's okay. So that's enough of that, and then I'm going to go back to the spoolie. So just give them another brush once you've filled them in. Again, always in an upward motion. Feels really weird doing my eyebrows on camera and like kind of trying to explain what I do, because I just do them the way I do them, and whichever way you do your eyebrows, it doesn't make it right or wrong. Because even though I'm saying don't give yourself big McDonald arches if that's not your natural shape, even though I'm saying that, at the end of the day, just do whatever you want to do with your own makeup. But always remember a key rule: the eyebrows do frame the face, and they can ultimately make or break a makeup look. So the last thing I'm going to go in with is the brow gel. This is just a clear brow gel. Sometimes I use tinted ones, sometimes clear, it just all depends. Now, what's the purpose of a gel? It basically sets your eyebrows in place so that if it's windy they don't move. But no, seriously, it just sets them in place so that they stay looking neat. Just realised I've got another stray one to pluck there, but actually it doesn't look too bad. There's just a tiny little one there that I might quickly pluck out at the end. Anyway, so yeah, just a little bit of brow gel just to finish the look. Now, you don't have to use a brow gel, absolutely not. They just give that brushed up effect, which some people like and some people don't like, so it's personal choice. Just a bit of my hair going across my face there. It's personal choice if you want to use the brow gels. They're not for everyone, and like I say, I didn't use them for years. I just used to use an old mascara wand that I used to, you know, basically run through my eyebrows, and it would actually always add a little bit of colour, because I would use a brown black mascara years ago sometimes. So that's the mascara one that I tended to use. Anyway, I think that's enough of that now. I can actually feel my eyebrows going more stiff as well, which is quite natural and normal. So, did I say I had a little stray one under there? In fact, I'm going to leave it because it's not that bad. I thought it was worse than what it was, but I'm fairly happy with that. I think it actually looks okay. So, like I say, don't really have a lot of makeup on today, but this is purely an eyebrow, I would say tutorial, but I don't want to sound like I'm a professional by doing that, because this is just the way I like to do it. You all find your own way and your own feet in how you do your makeup and how you do your skincare regime. There's no right and there's no wrong at the end of the day. So yeah, this is just the way that I do my eyebrows, and this was a requested video by several people, and I just thought it was about time that I did it, because I also had quite a recent request for it as well. And coupled with that and the fact that I've had requests previously and I've never done one till now, I thought it was high time that I did one. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has give you a little bit of, I was going to say inspiration to do your eyebrows, but it probably hasn't inspired you. It's probably just gave you a little bit of nosiness in what I do with my eyebrows. You saw how they looked at the beginning of this video, and you can see how they look at the end. One last thing that I sometimes do, I just get a powder brush which has got nothing on it entirely, and just to make my eyebrows feel nice and soft, like to give them a soft feel with the brush, I just brush over them. And sometimes if there's like a tiny bit of like powder on my face, it just blends over it and blends in, so that they don't look quite as harsh. If the colour, like colour wise, pencil wise, if I've gone a bit too heavy, it just kind of tones it down a little bit. Anyway, it's a tiny bit red under my eyes where I've plucked them, but hopefully you think that they look okay. Anyway, like I say, thank you for watching. I'm going to get back to finishing my cup of tea now, and I've got some more videos to try and film, so I'm going to try and get them done today. So until next time, guys, yeah, let me know in the comments what you do with your eyebrows, what your little regime is with doing your eyebrows, and how you get rid of the stray hairs. Do you pluck? Do you wax? Do you get your eyebrows threaded? Like, yeah, it's just interesting to have a little chit chat about. Anyway, everybody take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.